Thank you so much for having me, and also to the previous speaker, Dalma. It's great to reconnect and hear about all your valuable work. Congratulations to that very holistic and successful, promising strategy. I'm sure a lot of municipalities will be able to learn from that. And yeah, very glad to connect with you as ICLEI member and Procure Plus participants. So. Yes, I'm gonna talk today about the work that ICLEI has been doing together with Electronics Watch, also in the context of the Make ICT Fair project. And basically what we've been doing the last 3 years now is to collaborate very closely with for instance, Barcelona City Council, Region Stockholm, Stavanger in Norway, Haarlem in the Netherlands, Greater London Authority in the UK, to name a few, but there's also a larger group. What I wanted to share with you is that there are quite some interesting cases, and we've guided some of these authorities through a pilot procurement process. And we've developed 5 case studies now that are launched. And in addition, together with that group of public buyers, we've developed a set of criteria and clauses and requirements that really push for fair ICT hardware and goes beyond the first tier, but really tries to go deeper and yeah, really across the supply chain. From my understanding is that in the audience today, you are not procurement experts, so I'm not going to go into the level of detail about the specific criteria. Instead, I'm trying to draw out kind of a few lessons learned to give you a bit of a background why those pilot authorities have gone this, embarked on this journey. To give you a bit of a flavor, I've pulled out a quote from Carla Canal, who works for Barcelona City Council. And it says really that they strongly believe that public procurement can create this positive impact in global supply chains. And they really harness procurement as an opportunity to build on that responsibility they have to really create public value. Now, they take these new criteria really as an enabler to go further, to really establish a sound, socially responsible procurement practice for the city. To take a step back, there is this big number of 50 billion euros of spend each year by European public buyers for exactly ICT equipment. And on the other side of that, or underneath that, are very rough conditions of forced labor, armed conflicts, water depletion, all of what also Fidesz outlined at the start. So I'm now trying to show you how the different public buyers try to bring that together, to turn that around, to make this huge amount of public spend count for good. And I wanted to also emphasize that ICLEI, as a local government association across Europe, we focus at the subnational level because we believe that at the local level is really where pioneering action can happen and then can scale up to regional and national level. So that's why I'm going to kind of emphasize that as well, and that's also why we've worked with local public buyers in this project. However, acknowledging that the national legislation is, of course, vital as well to enable change long term. Let's travel to the Netherlands, to the municipality of Haarlem. We've been working with Haarlem for a while in the project, and you can see on the photo We've done a market engagement, a dialogue event with the public procurers of the city of Haarlem and key suppliers. And we've brought them, I guess, when it was still possible to meet in person, at round table to really discuss how to work together. Because Haarlem, they had an upcoming procurement of workspace hardware for around 1,000 desks and 1,000 mobile devices. And the market dialogue that where you saw the picture before, basically the result of that was that Haarlem decided to adopt a hardware as a service model after that dialogue, meaning that they wanted not only to push for social responsibility, but also for increased circularity by not owning the hardware, but by leasing it. Looking at how they wanted to approach social responsibility of ICT, they decided to focus on leveraging kind of the award criteria to kind of take the first steps in the procurement, basically to give extra points if bidders respond to the fair ICT aspects. And to give you a bit of background, why they were interested in this, or how they are set up so far. They're an Electronics Watch affiliate since 2018. I'm sure that also Peter, as next speaker, will talk more about what that means. They are also a member of our Procure Plus network, meaning that they are always open for collaboration and exchange, which is super important to learn from another. They have a very strong social return on investment policy that is embedded through kind of special contract performance conditions. And they their own municipal sustainability program actually gives emphasis on electronics specifically. So they have a pretty good platform to draw from to do a fair procurement of ICT. However, as you can see from this quote from Rudy, is really showing that trying to implement sustainability aspects has been a roller coaster for the last 10 years. So just as a teaser, it has not been that easy. Then we can travel to Spain, to Barcelona. Again, here you can see a picture that I took actually a few years ago when we did the market dialogue there. Again, bringing together suppliers and procurers to discuss how to make it happen, because and you find that again and again that this market dialogue is vital, so that public buyers can learn, is what we are aiming to do actually feasible from an industry perspective? What are their challenges? How can we work together? Or is it actually already possible, what we think is so advanced? Barcelona, they had an upcoming procurement that we guided them through, looking at also desktop workstations and laptops. And this was awarded last year in November. And this was for their Municipal Institute of Computer Science, actually. And here I want to emphasize that for Barcelona, fair ICT procurement was quite novel. They weren't that experienced in this, so they decided to take a small step. The contract was awarded on this best quality price ratio, so weighing up the criteria. And you can see here kind of 4% of the points were awarded to the quality. So they included 2 criteria looking at social responsibility. And you might say, well, that's not that much. Yes, but it's a step, right? They are starting, they're building experience and can take the next step from there. And again, reflecting on their journey, what they said as well is this market dialogue was really important to have to build kind of longer term relations. And also they are an Electronics Watch affiliate, and they use the contract clauses as well for this longer term engagement after contract award. To expand a bit on the background, kind of what is the wider landscape that is enabling, as I said, they're very close to Electronics Watch and the Procure Plus participant as well. They have a very, very strong political support where the kind of, municipal leadership, they're pushing for this. They really want their Barcelona City Council to build on their global responsibility. And if you look at the Spanish procurement law, there are three things that I find quite interesting and really enabling. They have established that first, after every political change, the new managers and politicians get briefed on socially responsible procurement. The second is that each staff member who is responsible for an ICT contract has an obligation to raise awareness about all the possibilities looking at social responsibility. And third, that through all these procurement processes, legal services are included, just to avoid any pitfalls and to get that reassurance that fair ICT is possible, also from a legal perspective. Last but not least, and you notice I'm only going to present 3 out of the 5 case studies, just to give you a bit of a taste. We're traveling to the north to Sweden, region Stockholm, and they are really, really a leader in this area. And the case study that we've produced is actually drawing from all the details and lessons learned out of 8 procurements of ICT. They have been awarded throughout 2 years. And here, what they are emphasizing again and again is to really drive the market, to work also with resellers, so that not only the suppliers or other service providers are key, but also the role of resellers is super important to engage with. And an interesting point, and also because Dalma mentioned that leadership role that the city of Budapest could have for other Hungarian municipalities. In the Swedish model, Region Stockholm is collaborating with 21 other regions actually on public procurement, and Region Stockholm is responsible for the procurement of ICT, for instance. So whatever they are doing, others will look towards and adapt. So it's vital to get it right. Here again, they've really included requirements, also environmentally sustainable requirements since 2010, so 10-year track record, and they have included binding contract conditions addressing social criteria since 2014. And really what is interesting about this case is that they are doing their own audits as well, desktop-based or really looking at the factories. They're also an Electronics Watch affiliate, and the Swedish Procurement Act in 2016 is a vital enabling regulation for this type of practice. And what I mentioned before, just to reiterate, really they have this regular dialogue with the market. Now, here is the cover of the criteria guidance. So if you're interested, I'm going to paste the link in the chat in a moment, as well as to the case studies. I really invite you to look through it and reach out if you have any questions. A few lessons learned, kind of zooming out again. Working with European municipalities the last couple of years is really that change happens through collaboration. That exchange in terms of what are we doing here and what are we looking to do here and how can we learn from another is so important. or also to address the market together, right? That ethical procurement can save lives, although the exact tracking of the impact is still a super challenge. However, in the wider scheme, it's really an important tool for a very urgent cause. And third, that supply chains do not stop at manufacturing. And this is what I mentioned before with this work here in Megacity Fair. We're really, pushing to look at the whole supply chain, going with procurement, and procurement can do that, right? Procurement can go all the way to the raw material extraction phase. So it is possible, although challenging. And the fourth point is really that if you have not done this before, start small, take small steps, but take them and build from there. And the last but not least point, do seek support and capture your journey. And this is the bridge where I come back to ICLEI and all of our networks and platforms that we have. It's an open invitation from my side to any one of you to reach out. To collaborate with other public buyers across Europe or through our also global networks, such as the One Planet Network Sustainable Procurement Program, where we actually also work with national level public buyers. So this is it for me. Thank you so much. And this is my contact if you want to learn more.